This is part 2, enterprise, business growth and size. The topics covered in this video are business growth, why some businesses fail, and why businesses may decide to stay small. The reasons for business growth are the potentially higher profits, obtaining higher market share, the higher status and prestige, and even benefiting from the economies of scale. There's mainly two kinds of business growth, internal and external. Internal is when a business decides to expand its existing operations. For example, a retailer opening up more branches in a different area. Whereas external growth is when a business expands by merging or taking over another business. A takeover is when the owner of a business buys the assets of another business, whereas a merger is when two or more business owners agree to join their businesses and make it one. There's three types of external growth: horizontal integration, vertical integration, and conglomerate integration. Horizontal integration is when a firm merges or takes over another firm in the same industry or on the same level of production. For example, a t-shirt manufacturer merging with another t-shirt manufacturer. The benefits of this type of external growth is that it reduces competition in the market, it leads to a higher market share for the bigger merged business, and there is also potential for higher economies of scale. Secondly, vertical integration is when a firm takes over or merges with another firm in the same industry but at a different level of production. This can be forwards or backwards. Forward vertical integration is integrating with a business in the later stage of production. For example, a manufacturer integrating with a retailer. Whereas backwards vertical integration is when a firm integrates with another firm in an earlier stage of production. For example, a manufacturer merging with raw material producer. Benefits of vertical forward integration. Firstly, if a manufacturer integrates with a retailer, they have an assured outlet for their products. Secondly, they can prevent the retailer from selling a competitor manufacturer's products. Moreover, now the retailer's profits are earned by the manufacturer, which increases profitability of the business. And lastly, the retailer can inform the manufacturer about consumer wants and preferences. Benefits of vertical backward integration. The manufacturer has an assured supply of raw materials. The supplier's profits are now the manufacturer's. Thirdly, the manufacturer can restrict the supplier from supplying to competing businesses. And lastly, the manufacturer can control the prices of raw materials. So this means they can be more price competitive in the market. The last kind of integration is conglomerate. And this is when a business merges or takes over another business in an entirely different industry. This is also known as diversification. For example, a t-shirt manufacturer taking over a fast food outlet. A benefit of conglomerate integration is that the risks are spread as the business diversifies. For example, if the t-shirt manufacturer is experiencing a fall in sales for t-shirts, then they can rely on support for survival from the restaurant sales. Moreover, the ideas between the two businesses can be shared, possibly leading to more innovative and creative solutions. Why do businesses decide to stay small? It could be due to the type of industry that the business is in. For example, businesses like salons, catering services, and car repair shops often find it more beneficial to remain small as they offer personalized services, so they can communicate with their customers better to offer better services. Secondly, it could be due to the market size, as if the market itself is small, that is, when the target audience of customers is usually small, then the business is likely to remain small. For example, businesses manufacturing designer handbags usually remain small as the number of customers willing to buy such products is not too high. Lastly, it could be the owner's preferences and objectives. Some owners actually prefer small businesses as they are easier to manage and don't require additional workload and stress. Moreover, they may want to offer personalized services to customers, hence staying small. Moving on to the last concept in this chapter, why businesses fail. Businesses often fail due to a lack of management skills. Entrepreneurs with no previous experience might make bad decisions, for example, choosing a wrong source of finance or location, which may lead to mistakes and failure of the business. Another reason why some businesses fail is due to the inability to plan for the future. The business environment is constantly changing and it's really dynamic. For example, changes in technology, changes in consumer tastes, and increase in competition. So entrepreneurs may fail to plan and react unsuccessfully to these changes, leading the business into failure. Poor cash management and overexpansion are two more reasons for business failure. Overexpansion is when businesses grow and expand too quickly and as a result fail due to the insufficient cash. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope it helped.